Main's a 40-pound vest. I can only imagine if it was 100 pounds, but it makes me want to do some movements and training. This is a Main's a 40-pound vest. I can only imagine if it was 100 pounds, but it makes me want to do some movements and training.
AJ, this is to you. He'll punish you, he'll school you, and he'll break your heart. He'll make your life a misery. Tyson will ruin your life. He'll ruin Eddie Hearn's life. Eddie Hearn can't sleep at night. Do you know that, Uma?
I don't know that, John. Do you want to enlighten me?
Because I'll tell you something. The jealousy is bubbling out of him. You know, and I say this much. If anybody in the world wanted Tyson Fury to lose that night, it would have been the Hearn camp. And I know that. But let me tell you something, Eddie Hearn. And all your entourage and all your fights and this, that and the other. You can't beat my son. You've got nothing to beat him. The man hasn't been born yet or bred yet can beat Tyson Fury. He wouldn't even train with Ruiz. And Ruiz ain't Tyson. There's nowhere for him to go in that ring. When Tyson gets in front of him, smash that big jab in his face, hit him to the body, roughen him up. Then it comes down to men and how big your balls are.
Those are the words of John Fury, father of Tyson Fury. And he tells Anthony Joshua that Tyson Fury will ruin his career. He tells Eddie Hearn that he cannot sleep at night and you've made a grave mistake. And he says when he starts doing all the things, putting that jab in his face, hooking to the body and roughing him up, then that's where you have the true man inside. Also, he said that he didn't want to trade with Ruiz. And Ruiz is not Tyson. Okay, let's counterpunch. John Fury, you know, he's been claiming his son was the best forever. I mean, he should believe in his son. You know, his son is an anomaly. He is. He's that big. He's that tall. He's that quick. He's awkward, but he has ring IQ and other things. So he has the skill on top of the awkwardness, and that makes him very difficult. Added the size makes him very difficult to fight. Okay, ask Vladimir Klitschko. But Eddie Hearn can't sleep at night. The jealousy is bothering him. I don't know what that means. I really don't know what he meant by the jealousy part. I think the only hiccup was Andy Ruiz. You know, maybe he's talking about Deontay Wilder. Maybe Eddie Hearn wanted that fight for Joshua to get Wilder out of there, and then he would have been a much bigger name. And I think, I believe that would have been the case. Why? Because Anthony Joshua's already fought, 5, 6, 7 top 10 contenders back to back. Okay, and then if he'd have took Wilder out, that would have been just a cherry on top. Then it would have been Tyson Fury. Right, and then Tyson would have came back to do all that. That would have actually made more sense, consistently speaking, when you're talking about Fury taking on Vladimir after Vladimir did what he did, and he got him out of there, and then beating Joshua, and by all the things Joshua did and getting him out of there. So consistency is the key. So let's see what John Fury was saying the last time John Fury was talking about his son. So we're going to take a trip down memory lane and recall the things that John Fury actually said about his son back then before he fought Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder.
Actually relying and changing his style to a degree to rely more on power.
Every time I speak to Tyson, he's much more happy. All he says to me, I'm hitting 100% harder, I'm focused more, I'm not off balance like I was before. I said I couldn't get the power shots going, but now I can get the power shots going and plenty of them.
Is it a danger, though, to sort of Tyson not to be using
if Tyson puts on a stone and a bit and goes there trying to knock him out, I think it's a dangerous tactic. It's crazy.
There's a way to knock him out, isn't there? He's not going to run in with his chin in the air for a big punch.
I've rarely seen Tyson apply those tactics in fights. Normally softens you up, breaks you up, gets you frustrated, makes you miss and counters you. That's how I've seen his success. So if he's going to change his style for the first time against Deontay Wilder, saying it's a risky
I
strategy.
just don't think he can deal with a 19-stone man, Wilder. And the first man to fight him, he was Tyson. He beat him on half mass, so he shouldn't even have been ring with him. He's not a great. And if he can punch that hard, how did Tyson get up in the 12th round? Nobody gets up in the 12th round. They're all out, gassed out, finished. He had nothing left in him. He gets up. If he was such a banger, he don't get up, especially in the 12th round. And I can tell you that.
So, those were the words of what John Fury said before the Deontay Wilder fight. Now, John Fury is 100% confident that Tyson Fury has everything: speed, power, skill, ring IQ, ring generalship, aggressiveness. He has it all to beat Deontay Wilder. So, of course, John Fury's supposed to think this way. He's supposed to feel his son is going to smash him. Based on what, though? Here's the counterpunch. Based on fighting another fighter. Now, does he have everything I said to beat Joshua? Of course he does. But will that work? And can he apply this new skill to Anthony Joshua? A guy that can fight you and will fight you back and will exchange with you. He said he didn't exchange with Ruiz. He didn't want to exchange with Ruiz because he knew he could outbox Ruiz. So he just made it simple. He made it a Eres Landilada night. He boxed the fighter for 12 rounds. What you see is what you got. And that's what we had. Andy Ruiz couldn't take the fight to him. That was his loss. Okay, so it wasn't really any situation or any reason for Anthony Joshua to exchange with a shorter fighter. But with a taller fighter, we did see him exchange with Vladimir Klitschko. We did see him bang and go toe-to-toe with Vladimir Klitschko. Okay, so I expect the same thing from Tyson Fury if he decides to open up. That's why the problem is with this whole scenario with me is I don't know what Tyson Fury will do with Anthony Joshua. I don't know what type of approach. See, it's easy to apply an aggressive style to a fighter that can't fight going backwards. His name is Deontay Wilder. He can't do that. Okay? You minimize all his options, okay? His capabilities, the things that he can do. If you throw a jab in his face, Deontay Wilder's just going to back up. That's not Joshua. We seen Joshua last time pull counter from a jab. You think Tyson Fury can't get hit with a punch like that if he's throwing a jab by that abundance and Joshua times it? See, the thing is, overconfidence, we could kill anyone. And John Fury, I know he's confident. He should be confident through the roof again. But you don't want to get to that part of being overconfident to being overzealous and having aggressive things that happen to you, and then you end up getting caught. Because all it takes in the heavyweight division is one good shot. I'm not sure how hard Tyson Fury hits compared to someone like Wilder. It doesn't matter anyway because Wilder's never fought Joshua. The point is, how can he hurt Joshua? That's the question. Can he hurt Joshua like Ruiz did? Was Ruiz regarded as a big puncher? No, he was regarded as a good puncher, but not like a huge puncher. So I would say yes. However, can Tyson Fury be hurt by Joshua? You see what I'm saying? That's one of those punches that you don't see that can land and hurt you. And one of those punches, like Andrew Ruiz threw, hurt Joshua. Can Tyson Fury do that? Because Tyson Fury is a guy, according to what John Fury is saying, he's going to come in there, throw that jab in your face, work you to the body, and rough you up. That's kind of like a hybrid on what he did on the Deontay Wilder, the first fight, and Deontay Wilder in the second fight. He roughed up Deontay Wilder. He worked him to the body. He hit him everywhere. The first fight, he used the jab. So he said he's going to nullify Anthony Joshua by throwing a jab. I think he's going to need more than that. The roughing up part, I believe that. I think Tyson Fury, every chance he's going to get, he's going to headlock Joshua. I think that. I believe that. If Joshua allows him to physically overpower him, he will do it. I believe that. But the jealousy part, I don't see where that's coming from, because if anybody should be jealous, it should be Tyson, because Tyson Fury is just now getting the respect in his own country that he feels that he deserves, because it was times when Tyson Fury has said the UK don't respect me. That's why I don't want to fight in the UK. If you guys remember that. Some people have short memory spans. I don't. So I don't know where that comes from. You know, is Eddie Hearn worried? I think Eddie Hearn would be more relaxed when the fight is made, officially made, because at least win, lose, or draw, you get 2 times around the bend. So I think, you know, it's going to be some type of level of nervousness, especially when a guy like Eddie Hearn is always on the go. Right? So, yeah, that's going to be one hell of a fight. However, I will say this about John Fury. He was right about Deontay Wilder in the prediction with Tyson Fury. Is he right this time? That's the question. You guys let me know what you think about John Fury's comments concerning this mega fight. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.